Hey guys, this is Milan. So I understand it's been a minute. I'm not trying to make this intro long. I do just want people to understand that spiritual warfare is a real thing, and we'll talk about that another time. But we're here, and I said we were going to get these videos out. I'm getting these compilations together. Every 12 hours, I am going to try to get it out every 12 hours. The first one being today, July 22nd, 2023 at 12 noon. It's always going to be Eastern Standard Time. So after noon, 12 hours later is what? Midnight. We don't have to be mathematicians, right? In this, I try to make it very simple and easy for everybody to get and for me to get out to you. Please share these videos. Our love letters in Ephesians 5:11 says, "Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them." So let's expose.
We have some disturbing news from Africa. A virus outbreak in two African nations has put the world on guard. This too is linked to bats, and it's bringing back fears of how the pandemic began. Of course, nobody wants a repeat, and this one is proving to be deadlier. It's called the Marburg virus. It causes hemorrhagic fever, and the fatality rate is very high. The virus belongs to the Ebola family, which is why countries are worried and have begun issuing advisories. What is the Marburg virus and how does it spread? Also, should you be worried? Here's a report.
A virus that kills half the people it infects and brings about a fever that leads to internal bleeding. Patients bleed in several parts of their body, and it's often the blood loss that takes their lives. The symptoms are unbearable. If you've been to Africa or have come in contact with somebody who has, you should watch out for these symptoms: high fever, muscle pain, bleeding, severe headaches, diarrhea, and vomiting blood. This could mean you have contracted the Marburg virus. The virus belongs to the Ebola family, and it has the world on edge. Two African countries are battling a Marburg virus outbreak. One is Tanzania, and the other is Equatorial Guinea. In Tanzania, 5 people who contracted the virus have died. Authorities are mapping their contacts and trying to figure out the extent of the virus spread. In Equatorial Guinea, 9 people have died. This was when the country had about 13 confirmed cases. Let me repeat, 9 people died out of the 13 that caught the virus. The virus's fatality rate is the biggest worry. It has a kill rate of anywhere between 24 to 88%. Here's some perspective. Peru has the highest COVID-19 fatality rate, and that's 5%. So the Wuhan virus is a dwarf compared to the Marburg virus. And the world is certainly not prepared for a virus that kills nearly half the people it infects, which is why countries are on alert. On the 31st of March, US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention urged travelers to beware. They've been advised to stay away from sick people and keep an eye out for symptoms. The US is also sending personnel to Africa to help control the outbreak. They're assisting with testing and contract tracing. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have advised citizens not to travel to Tanzania and Equatorial Guinea. Like COVID-19, the Marburg virus has a lot to do with bats. It was initially transmitted to humans from fruit bats. African green monkeys and pigs can also be carriers of the virus. And like COVID-19, the Marburg virus too has a lot to do with labs. The Marburg virus was first recognized in 1967. There were simultaneous outbreaks of the virus in labs across Germany's Marburg and Frankfurt, and Serbia's Belgrade. So far, the virus has not made its way out of Africa except in very isolated cases. In the past 40 years, only 2 cases of the Marburg virus have been reported out of Africa. Previously, cases of the Marburg virus have been reported from Ghana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. The most severe outbreak was reported in Angola in 2005. The virus killed more than 300 people in Angola. Now to the million-dollar question. Is there a vaccine against the virus? Unfortunately, there isn't. There's also no proper treatment regime. But the treatment of specific symptoms like fever or internal bleeding can be helpful. Experts also recommend staying hydrated. The key is to identify the symptoms and seek medical intervention as soon as possible.
This is the video that Bill Gates put together along with the team, complete with simulated news reports like this. This is really what they're preparing for us. This video is called Get Ready. Watch. Catastrophic contagion of global challenge. Breaking news.
Two Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region. Severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome 2025.
Oh, so that's the name, guys. Just write this down. That'll be the name of it, okay? It's SEERS. It's going to be called the Severe Epidemic Enterovirus Respiratory Syndrome, and 2025 is when we'll see it.